G'day everybody, Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth Corporation, and this is the executive summary for trading opportunities for the 23rd of October Friday session. So we've talked about this kind of this market kind of edging along. Today we saw an upward move. We went from 3.65 billion to 4.44 billion. So we're right up against that 200-day moving average now. Key levels here, we've hit the 2040, we respected it, we turned down. Now we've broken higher on lower money flow. We are higher on lower money flow over these last few candles, but obviously right into that 200-day moving average now, that 2060 level, which we thought could be a between 2040 and 2060 as this kind of resistance, especially playing into this kind of oscillation type of potential. Now. As we move up in this possible oscillation, you can see we are rickshawing back and forth. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Right now, we can see that open range really has proven to be unreliable for this time. We broke higher earlier in October, and then we broke lower here on Wednesday, and then we broke higher today. So we are we're essentially getting false indications on both sides, which obviously is an indication that manipulation perhaps is going on. This is kind of a skewy scenario. So I believe if we have a look, I believe that just from memory, I think that July was also the very similar time. Or maybe it was. Let's have a look here. Friday. Yes, no, it was June. June was also a period there where open range had not worked, and we basically just we can see here went higher, went lower, and then rallied, and this was right before a drop. So times of where these big possible turns can happen, interesting to see that you start to see some of these discrepancies. Anyway, moving on, that means that, as mentioned in the executive summary the other night, we still want to remain short-term bullish, but be preparing for possible shorting opportunities. Now, obviously, MLM still very valid. Still watching that on the short side. I've been waiting for this to break this downward trend line. You can see now when we first talked about this, I wanted to raise this. When we first talked about the trade, we talked about the trend line being at 145. That trend line is now dropping. So when you're looking at entries and stop losses, this is why we wait for the entry to trigger before placing the stop, because we don't quite know where the entry is going to be. The entry and the stop loss will change every day because the trend line itself is changing every day. So until we break, we're not going to quite know where that stop will be or where the entry is going to be. So right now we still need to be breaking through the low of this candle of 144.61. So I'm looking at 144.53 at least for a confident break of this. We rallied up into some resistance here, moving average based. So anyway, we'll just keep that on the watch list. Let's have a look here. The PKG. Looking good. Okay, and let's have a look at this one here. Just 1 second. There we go. Just wanted to make sure the audio was recording correctly. So yeah, so we look at PKG's had a big gap down. It's under resistance. We can see that the money flow has participated. So again, with these big performers like PKG, I mean, it's always worthwhile considering taking some profit. This could obviously go further. This is a sharp downward move, consolidation, and we're now under resistance levels. So, but always worth taking some profit. HOG could also go significantly lower, but again, still we could get a bit of a reversal bounce up to this kind of $50 level. Is quite possible. So we want to keep an eye out for that potential as well. I mean, I'll be looking at this resistance you can see coming in. I don't think there's going to be any big dramatic move on HOG. Obviously, I mean, we were down sharply on 31 million shares, 10 million shares yesterday, only up on 7.5 on Thursday, I should say, and But again, one to watch if you're up significantly on that move, obviously. So always interested to maybe take some profits and then look for any kind of a rally or a breakdown to re-enter a position with looking at the March puts instead of, I believe, January is what we're holding. So don't be afraid to take profit and reposition just like you would a stock trade if you are in a big profit scenario. ZSPH, I know some of you took this one. So this is set up really well. It dropped 2 big days. So if you snuck into that trade, went right down into that kind of profit target of that, or the secondary profit target, which was the as you can see, the downward channel we thought may be going on. So we've got the we had the descending triangle, we had the consolidation. So this one's probably one I would just put back on the watch list, but significant movement to both directions there. HUM. Should be up nicely if you played the options on this. I believe it was the 150. I'll just have to double check that. And we'll just have a quick look. I believe on this one we had where are we? Like HUM, yeah, the 150 January puts. So nice big drop of his last 2 days, and obviously this is expanding its range and underneath the 200-day moving average. So these are kind of these independently weak stocks that we want to be concentrating on for the on the short side. Okay, NUS. Unfortunately stopped out today. That obviously playing into the market strength, it broke through, but I would keep this on a watch list. So it's still consolidating, but again, this is the trouble with these rising wedges, is they can burn you because of this rising stop loss. So I mean, as long as it's still kind of, I mean, the key resistance here is $40. So we could see this rally up further. It didn't turn underneath the trend line, so we could see it rally up further and play into that, and that's where we would look at it again as a breakdown once coming out of that area. But we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, VDSI. Hit the entry today. Okay, and is holding, so we'll that's will be one to watch. But that was from yesterday's summary. And of course, the one to be watching this morning is WHR, which we hold puts in, and this one is just kind of moving along when it comes up. Yeah, you can see it's kind of moving along. In a consolidation oscillation mode, so you got the kind of upwards oscillation here. We don't quite know obviously what's going to happen here with earnings. You can see that we've got a downward level there. We have an upward level here. So we had a breakout to the upside here on 1.6 million shares. So it wasn't extremely strong compared to the type of breakout we had, so probably mostly led by the market. But a lot of this we'll see what happens when we get the open with the earnings. Now you can see there's also another trend line that comes down from these 2 peaks, which pops in right here above where the stock is and also where the moving average, 50-day moving average is. So that's right around 162, 189. So you could see a rally into that and then a drop. And I'm still holding puts in this one also. So those are the key things to watch tomorrow. I'm definitely not looking at any new trades here, probably for the next few days, just to see where where things go. We've got a lot of opportunities that we've already reviewed, which could be great actionable trades. We've collected some big profits on some of those shorts with the puts following earnings, so we are seeing kind of a divergence between the bulls and the bears here. And when markets get frothy like that, it's time to be aware. So obviously ahead of the weekend, don't want to take any new trades. Just want to see how things pan out going into next week. And for those of you in the big one, we did publish a new, excuse me, not the big one, the Oak Club. We did purchase a produce a new video today, which was the how to trade the directional movement system. So have a look for your email on that. And we've had a lot of activity on the Oak Club. So if it is saying that you can't access the video, it's just because we're upgrading the bandwidth on there again, so to allow you to have more access to that. If you are in the Big One, we will be having a brand new Big One class next week on Monday afternoon. So that's also one to be looking for in your emails as well. That's enough housekeeping. Well, I will see you all here shortly in the next executive summary. Take care and good night.